Hey, this is Wolf Ranger, and today I will be teaching you how to make your own one command. This is the second episode, so if you haven't seen the first episode, you might want to go check it out, but it just covers the basics. Today we'll be going over custom items and how to make them in one command form if that's something you might want for your commands. This could be useful in classes and like elemental bending, stuff like that. So here I made a few examples. We start out with the jump boots. So if we take those jump boots and put them on, we get jump boost 4. And if we take them off, we lose our effect. If I grab the Speedy Sword and while I'm holding it, it gives me speed 3, as you can see there. And I no longer hold it, I no longer get speed. So those are the two examples, and then after I briefly explain them, we're gonna go build our own example right here that you guys can follow along with. So first for the jump boots, and then the speedy sword, which is just slightly different. Okay, so the main idea is that it's based off of the scoreboard commando. If you don't know how to use scoreboard, this will be kind of a first impression for you. So how you set up a scoreboard objective is scoreboard objectives add, and then you name it whatever you want, and then most of the time you're going to do dummy. Now in the future, I might teach you how to do something else with it. So here we got dummy, and then we can add/remove scores with scoreboard players. So we can add or reset or anything. So let's say add test, add Wolf Ranger, normally it would be something else, just like at a test 1. So now I have 1 test score. So anyways, how this works is there's a tag at the end. You can use like tags for scoreboard. So the command is the same as before, but set, and I have a scoreboard objective named jump boots. So I did that same command, but instead of test, I did jump boots. And the reason I set it to 2 is that if you're not using the fill clock, the comparator clock, the other remove one might trigger first, and it's just better that way, because otherwise stuff might get messed up. Like you might not get the effect at all, just if the remove one happens to be running first. So then you want to get this tag. It is a little confusing, so I'll leave it down in the description. And you would change this number right here to the appropriate armor. So 100 is boots, and 103 is leggings, I believe. So anyways, I'll just be leaving all those in the description. You can literally just change this part to what you need. So, yeah. So say like you want to do a helmet, I'll say helmet in the number, so I think that might be 101. I don't quite remember them all, but the only one I actually remember is his boots. But anyways, moving on. So then we /affect the player, so that block right there sets the score of jump boots to 1 or 2, but this says a minimum of 1. And if that player, all players wearing jump boots, basically, this is saying, give them jump boost. And then we want to remove it, so if they take the jump boots off or die or something like that, then the effect stops and it's not just infinite. If you don't have this command, then they can just put the jump boots on and then take them off, and they'll have jump boost forever. So now we're gonna go on to the Speedy Sword. So it's basically the same thing, but a little different for this tag. Selected item slot 0. So this actually only works in the first slot at the moment. Now, if I move it over here and hold it, it does not work, as you can see. So it's basically the same command, but instead it's selected item slot. So the numbers for this aren't nearly as confusing. 0 is basically the first slot. Oh, wrong button. 0 is the first slot, and then 2 is the 1 is the second slot, basically the number. So basically the 9th slot is 8. So basically the slot you want minus 1. So how I would do that is you can control middle mouse button to set it up with all of them, and then you can just go into the command and do 1, and then and 1. Then done, activate it, and now it also works in my second slot now. And my first slot still, as you can see. If I go and move it back, it still works in my first slot as well. So, and then the same effect command, except instead of jump boots, then it's speedy, and then the remove command. So now, just to like go through it step by step, we're going to be building it the super stake. Basically, I'm gonna call it. So this is basically how to make your own item step by step if you don't understand that exactly. So first you make your clock, then 2 redstone. I like to do it because if you do it too close, sometimes the blocks will not activate properly. Then you want to place down your first command. Oh, I had the NBT'd one. So here we can, we can kind of just edit this, I guess, because that's what we had. So first, before we actually do anything, we need to create an objective for this. So scoreboard objectives add, let's call it meaty because it's steak, and then dummy. Dummy basically means that it can't be added to in any shape or form by doing something, because any other type you can add to it by doing something. Now, so we would do here, I'll just keep that tag there because it's long to type. So we would type /scoreboard. So you got type scoreboard like that, and then players set at A. The reason we do at A is because if we just did at P, then only the closest player. So basically, this by doing at A, we make it multiplayer friendly. So scoreboard player set at A meaty to 2, just in case we get the remove wrong, and then selected. So this works in the first slot. Name instead of doing so, you would also want to copy paste this from the description and change out Speedy Sword to what you want. So in this case, Super Steak, which will be the name of the item. Now, if I take an anvil and quickly name this the Super Steak, not enough, it has to be spelled exactly the same, and hold it in my first slot, then it'll say set the score of meaty to wolf ranger to 2. Now, I think I'll make this this give regeneration. Oh, here, we'll make it do health boost. So I have the MPT command. Okay, so then we would do /effect at A, and then this is the score tag. So you do 2 square brackets. I just actually do that. Score. All the commands will be in the description. Score _ meaty or whatever score. So speedy, whatever it's gonna be. So, but this one's meaty, whatever your objective name is. Min, which stands for minimum, obviously. Let's fix that typo, otherwise it won't work. Meaty minimum equals 1. Now, if you wanted this, you could make this as high as you want, but if I did that, I would have to make the other one higher, and making it higher is kind of pointless. Equals 1, so that you get a meaty score by holding that stake. Minecraft, helps spell it right, hell _ boost, and then now duration amplifier. So that's the name of the value you want. So look up all of them, or you can just press tab in the chat. Duration first, so it's duration amplifier, not amplifier duration. Amplifier basically means what level, but if you do 0, then that's level 1. Amplifier, if you set the amplifier to 1, that's 2, so it's basically level 1 plus amplifier. And the duration is how many seconds, so 1 second, because if you give them like a high one, then it'll set itself to infinite or a high number, and then when they take it off, they won't lose their effect. So if you set it to 1, then they will lose their effect once they take off / stop holding the item. Health boost 1, so that's the duration. Amplifier, let's give them 4, so that's health boost 5, and that's an extra row of hearts. And then finally, see, I have it constantly. See, this is what happens if you don't have it. Since I was holding the stick at one point, now it does that. So now, if we want to get rid of this, /scoreboard players remove at A, not at A like score. You don't need to do score, just at A meaty 1. And now, as you can see, my effect disappears. And when I hold the super stick, it gets back. So what this looks like in survival is we have a whole extra row of hearts. Stop holding the stick, and we do no longer have a whole row of hearts. So let's just go back into creative and end off this video. So that's all I wanted to show you for this video, guys. There will be hopefully more tutorials like this. Leave a comment what your opinions are. I hope this helped you in one way or another. Maybe one command, maybe you're making a map or something, but this is how you make custom items. And I did effects, but you were not limited to effects. These were actually really, really bad examples of what you can do with this. You can see some better examples of what you can do with this in my Assassins and Ranger with one command. For example, the Poison Blade. See the Escape Sugar. If you've seen these, you should go check them out if you haven't. The Escape Sugar is similar. And actually the like the Smoke Bomb one, the Smoke Bomb for my Assassins, the Disappear Crystals, that uses this. And yeah, and also same with the Ranger. Similar. I use this concept, but I add more for the bows, basically, and the binoculars too, with the slowness effect zooming in. So, anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and this is Wolf Ranger signing out. Peace.